Hello and welcome to another episode of DockDogs TV. I'm your host, Jim Zelasco. Thanks for joining me. Hey, we've been off the air for a little bit, but we're back and we've collected a little bit of information for you to share in this episode of DockDogs TV. We're going to sit down with Grant Reeves, the president and CEO of DockDogs, later on in this program, and Grant and I will be sitting with two different gentlemen who are each from a different continent. But first, it's an interview with the DockStar. This is a longtime participant and fan of DockDogs and dock diving. You may have even seen her and her dog on Animal Planet with Dogs 101. Here's an interview with the DockStar. And I am doing the interview with the DockStar. My DockStar is Tanner and Sue Barnes, right here from Club 3D. We're in Conway, Arkansas at the Central Regionals this weekend. And I wanted to sit down with Sue and take a little bit of time and talk with you. And just, you know, with your experience and everything in DockDogs, just kind of wanted to let you tell the people out there on DockDogs TV what kind of experiences you've had, what kind of advices you have for people. So let's first start with your resume of success. Quite successful
yeah,
with
this is actually year number 8 for Tanner and I. We started in 2005, and it's kind of ironic. We started in Dubuque, so we'll be finishing up our year in Dubuque at Worlds this year. So it's really exciting. This will be our second invite to Worlds. At least we hope so, since he plays second. Maybe I should count my chicken jet. But he is already qualified with Shannon Connor, so he does have one invite already.
All right.
But he's got 5 DockDogs National Championships. He at one time held the veteran world record. He's held the legend world record. He was the first veteran national champion, and he's also a DockDogs Hall of Famer.
It is an honor to be with you here.
More than anything, he's just a lot of fun. And it's pretty cool because when you go back to 2005, it was when you didn't see a lot of German Shorthairs on the dock. He was basically next to a dog named Sarge. He was probably the next dog that you knew. So it was kind of fun when we were at that time when there were only 12 dogs in the finals, you know, to be up there with a bunch of retrievers. And actually the funny part too is there weren't a lot of females compared to the guys competing, and now you see a lot of males and females and kids and all sizes, shapes, and breeds and ages of dogs now too. So
definitely true.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh, Tanner, that is amazing, and you're doing amazing. So with all your years of experience in this, you must have some advice for those. Let's just say somebody's starting out brand new. They didn't have a dog yet. Where do you think they want to start if they think they like something like this? You
know, I think the biggest thing is that you don't have to go out and find a dock dog. See if you've got a dock dog on your couch. And it doesn't have to be a dog that jumps 25 feet, because DockDogs isn't really about, to me, it's not about the 25-foot dog. It's about your dog being the best they can be, and you learning to be that good partner to help that. And that's the thing is I think people lose sight of, is they kind of forget that, you know, it's not just the big jumping dogs. It's not just the national championships. It's everybody that come together and enjoy it, and you see all the successes that they have and the bond that's created. It's a blast. That's the thing I think, you know, we're at that getting older stage, and so reaching those goals we once had aren't the same. And what we did this year is, he'd never done speed retrieve. So at 13, we went out and got a speed retrieve title because I don't know what to expect. So I'm like, hey, he runs 10, 11 seconds. It's not blazing, but it's something new and fun for us. And that's the way people need to look at this.
Exactly. And you know, just off camera not too long ago, you and I were talking about, there was a comment that somebody was asking what kind of dog to get for DockDogs, and I think we both agreed that's all the wrong reasons to get a dog. That's not the right reasons to get a dog.
Exactly.
But like you said, you know, maybe it's already there, you have one. But you know, popular in this sport, you've seen all different breeds, as I have too, and that success also is not guaranteed based on the breed, because I've seen some breeds amaze me that I didn't think would at all, and other ones you think they're going to do great, and they're not that good at it. You
know, I've got Tanner, and I own Tanner's mother. She hated water. And I've got his kids, and they're 4, and they still haven't decided that they want to do this. So there's never a guarantee, you know. But it's about fun, and to me, it's eventually they'll do it or they won't. But trying to get there is what we're going to enjoy, is the journey, you know. And we've got so many amazing dogs here this weekend. One of my favorites is Wilbur. You know, we're talking about Wilbur, a little tiny Boston Terrier that's just amazing. And he's out jumping some of the big dogs. And most people would never think of a Terrier like that doing it. You know, we've got Cocker Spaniels and Dachshunds, a little Martini out here.
Yeah.
Those are the dogs that inspire me, that go, giving me chills when I'm out here.
It's fun, and then on top of that, you have the young handlers. You put all that together.
Yep.
It's a great time. It's one of the things that makes DockDogs so great. So,
absolutely.
So you know, if you could put on the futuristic goggles and see where DockDogs is going, where do you think it's going in the future? Where would you like to see DockDogs go into the future?
You know, this sport has grown so incredibly. I think there's going to come a time where we're going to have a feel of something that's like professional, and you're going to feel like you can grow to that, because I think what we're getting to is it's not enough time in a weekend to do everything, and so it might end up that way. You know, personally, I'd like to see us be big like something else and have our own little Hall of Fame. You know, a place you can actually go to and go, hey, let's have the history of DockDogs. Let's have, so that people can feel like it's more than just coming on a weekend.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give someone who now has that dog and is ready to go to their first DockDogs event? What kind of words do you say to them?
You know, the first thing I tell people is if you haven't been to an event, you've seen it on TV maybe, or you've read a little bit on the list, listen to what people say, take some of those things in, but go to an event and observe, and you're going to get 10,000 pieces of information. And it's really hard. If you can find a trainer or someone that wants to help you, it's help because it's kind of like a recipe. Once you figure out what your dog is like, then you kind of put together the right recipe to go a certain trail. But if you start adding too many things or taking them out, sometimes you can mess it up. So it's not about, you know, having the perfect recipe right away, but having a good plan of action. And it might be, first of all, go out and have fun. Throw that ball in, get your dog wet. You know, if you can get somewhere to get to some water and play with your dog first, there's all kinds of great advice on DockDogs, on our club websites. Some of our people come out and ask questions, but what we want to do is have you have fun. Get that dog wet first, and if you're doing those things, then develop it from there, because I can tell you right now, we've got a guy that trains with us and it's fantastic, and he's going to kill me, but his name's James, and he's actually a Division I football player, and so he knows all about skills. He's got this dog he absolutely loves, and he's been the greatest student. It's so fun because he wants to do it right, and he goes, I want to take and build on it. And the thing is he's really patient with his dog.
Well, that's good. And
he doesn't want it all.
That's important.
Right, he doesn't want it all right now, and he realizes that you're going to go and you're going to have some setbacks, and to develop things, you're going to get better and worse. So it's really fun to watch him. But the biggest payoff with him is when he comes off that dock. Here's you got this 6 foot, almost 300-pound guy just grinning and calling his dog sweetheart, and I'm like, that's DockDogs.
Yes,
that's DockDogs.
I agree. Yes.
You know, so you've got to get yourself out and just enjoy it away from the dock before you get to this crazy time, where you get all those announcements and you get all those people going crazy around the pool, and you know, have somebody help you, get yourself a direction, and it doesn't have to be a professional. You know, everybody, there's that big debate, do you need a professional trainer? Don't you? You know what? Everybody's going to have different opinions. The key is do what's right for you and your dog. You know your dog. And set goals for your dog, and remember, this is the dog. It's not about us.
Right.
That's the biggest mistake people make.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, Sue, I really do appreciate your time. It was great seeing you again. It's been a while since I got to see you.
It was always good to see you in the central region.
Sit down and take some time off so we could do this little interview. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's our interview with a DockStar. It's always a pleasure to sit down with Sue and Tanner. I enjoyed my conversation with them, and I hope that you did too. Up next, I'm sitting down with the president and CEO of DockDogs, and we're going to be sitting down with a couple of gentlemen who are from a different continent. Actually, 2 different continents. One is from Australia, and one is from the United Kingdom. I also asked Grant a couple tough questions. We'll get his answers.
Hey, if you're all about dog diving and enjoying the program that you're watching, then be sure to check out similar programs from Precise Video Productions. PVP's series called Dock Diving Tales evolved from the old Dog Diving Events video review series that ran last season. This updated version has 3 distinct formats. The Special Features version covers just about anything from fun videos to unique information. The Memory Lane series looks back at events from years gone by. And the staple of the Dock Diving Tales format is the Event Review. It's where I recap an event that I attended with pictures, video, information, and details for anyone that's interested. You can find these videos and more on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in Precise Video Pro and look for the PVP symbol. Or if it's easier for you, latest videos are also often linked over to our Facebook page. Just type Precise Video Productions and request to join today.
I'm Jim Zelasco here with DockDogs TV, and I have the pleasure of being with 3 different representatives from 3 different countries here for DockDogs. We have Robert over here from DockDogs UK.
Hello. We
have Farmer Dave here from DockDogs Australia.
G'day.
And of course we have Grant Reeves, President and CEO of DockDogs, right here in the United States and covering Canada.
I don't say g'day or hello.
It's a very exciting time, very exciting meeting, because you may have seen things on Facebook or the web pages about DockDogs TV in the UK or in Australia. But you know, you never got to put a face or even know that it's anything more than just a web page. You know, I know for a few years there, I thought maybe, you know, DockDogs just bought a website and they put it up there, and you know, they were just basically planting their flag in those countries. And
well, you know the rumor. We just launched DockDogs UK and DockDogs Australia so Grant could have a free trip somewhere in the world. So that was all it was. We never did anything down there. That was the rumor.
Jim's trying to get there too on DockDogs Bucks. But anyway, it is very exciting because there are actually we have all these individuals here today at this meeting to get these things ramped up and get them started, because they're really going to start going full force and full bore here. We could start with Robert here. Robert, a little bit of background. How did you get involved into DockDogs?
By fluke. I met Grant on the first event. He had a sponsor. I turned up with the van for the sponsor. Grant didn't have anywhere to store the equipment. I volunteered myself. Grant crammed it all in my van, and that's where it went from.
Oh, really? Fantastic. And how long ago was that?
About 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been doing events over there for 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
We're up to about 10 events a year right now, and it's going to grow. We're going to double it next year in the UK.
Fantastic. And yeah, and I've seen that too. I've even seen some of the UK people in the rankings, and there's going to be world invites, I believe.
There has been world invites sent out there. We're just working through the politics of pet passports from the UK. Both these rock islands, I call them, are very, very stringent in the rules of letting pets both leave and come into the country. But we're working through those challenges, and we're actually setting the UK Regional Championship next year in mid-April, so that people have time to get to the 2013 World Championship. And their dogs, by the way, have gone from being 10, 12, 14-foot dogs. I think, what's your UK record right now in big air?
About 25 foot plus.
Wow.
So they're coming along very well, and we've introduced speed retrieve over there too. And now, from I heard a rumor, they've started EV over there on the sly that we don't know about. We haven't officially introduced it, but they're starting to become, you know, competitively ranked in all divisions. So the divisional format with regionals and worlds is going to be very big over there.
Fantastic. I think you know, when the worlds becomes true worlds, more than just Canada and the United States that we've seen in the past, I think it's going to be so exciting.
We can touch that in a few minutes. I have an idea I want to launch.
All right, but we also want to talk to Farmer Dave here from Australia and find out how you got involved into DockDogs.
Similar way of being roped in. A Canadian works well on his lasso. Yeah, 2009 we had World Dog Games in Australia, which was a massive event, and I was one of the presenters there. I've got a background in working dogs coming from the outback, and so they had me there telling people in the city how we live with our dogs and how we utilise dogs' natural instincts. And so I have a massive passion on utilising what a dog is born with and those innate things that he brings to the table, not being wasted in the backyard or on the couch, and getting a dog out there and doing something with all of those things that, you know, we as humans, bringing those things out of the wolf genetics, can actually utilise in a really, really fun way to get that bond happening. And, you know, since then it's just been a case of DockDogs is just doing this stuff, and you check out things on Facebook, and you check out things on YouTube, and you just think, you know what, this is, of all the dog sports out there, this is the one where you can just have so much fun, and the dog's having an awesome time, the human's having an awesome time, and then anyone coming and watching is just going, this is fun. And when it comes to having a good time with your dog, I don't think there is a better sport. So after having a pretty bad accident doing search and rescue work, falling out of an aeroplane, I spent
about 13,000 foot fall. I just got to qualify that. It wasn't that far.
It
wasn't that far. It was only 13,000 feet.
But you know, I spent about 5 months in a wheelchair and started having a really good time with my dog and understanding a lot more about behaviour. And, you know, I'm a professional behaviourist back home, and it really was a case of you can do things that are fun to train your dog. And there's this subversive thing with DockDogs that you can actually train your dog in behaviour and get those obedience tactics whilst having fun. So when I got out of the wheelchair and started working with people again, this thing came up about DockDogs, that you can train your dog to sit, to stay, to calm down, to do all the things that you want, to be crate trained, to be able to travel whilst having fun.
So what does crank train mean?
Crate trained.
Crate.
You know, when you put it in the
I
box.
thought he said cranked. I'm
Crate.
still learning the lingo. I'm still learning the lingo.
I was teasing these guys ahead of time. I was going to see if I had to subtitle any of this or not. Well,
the funny thing is, in the whole of the United States, I have to put on this really, really bad American accent, depending on where I am, how bad the accent gets.
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah,
I hate it.
Say DockDogs in Australian slang, and then say it in your American voice.
DockDogs. DockDogs.
There you go. DockDogs.
It's just, it kills me. But that's what I have to do to be understood in this country. So I'm sorry, but everyone who's watching this in the United States that has no idea what I'm saying, I apologise.
But both your languages come from England, so you should be talking the Queen's
Oh, here we
English
go
anyway.
again.
Actually, if you think about it, we're sitting here. We have 4 different countries. We have UK,
And they're all colonies.
Canada, United States with Jim, and Australia with you. I mean, and in short time, and we only launched foreign countries in 07, 08, and we have 2 new countries we're going to next year. I mean, this is amazing, and it's all based on what both these guys have identified. They all have a canine background, but it's on the fun. The core has been the fun, and you know, unlike other canine activities, it is the most fun you have with your dogs. I see it in every country. The one common thread is everybody's having a blast with their dogs.
I mean, we've just done an event over at Norwich, all about dog show. I've just come from that last weekend. When I go back, I go up to the Robin Hood show back in October. We've got 2 back-to-back shows, and this weekend we've just had 141 competitors going through the dock.
Fantastic.
And they're all brand new. Well, there were about 20 people who are regulars. The rest of them are all new competitors having a go.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to let you know why all these guys are here exactly. Stay tuned.
Thanks for watching another edition.
Hey, have you seen the new DockDogs store online? Good thing dogs can't use computers, because those new toys are awesome. Parker!
All right, we're back, and we're going to find out why all these guys are here. Grant, why are we sitting here at Worldwide Headquarters in Medina, Ohio?
Well, I live here, and actually I've not been home a whole lot lately, so I'm glad that I'm home.
Why are we sitting here with a gentleman from the UK and a gentleman from Australia?
As you know, Jim, I just got back from being over in the UK. We've actually relocated our head office in the UK into a wonderful place called Lee-on-the-Sea. And it was right outside where the Olympic mountain bike course was. It's a phenomenal place. I actually was over there getting that situated. We've put a new management team in place to work with Robert over there, and part of our continuity and consistency is Robert has come over from the UK, and we're going to train him. He's actually going to be out on the road for the next month with various different crews, getting down and dirty. Literally, he's going to be setting up, tearing down, getting wet, showing some of the training techniques that we use over here on the dock, running an event. He's going to be trained as an event manager, and then he's going to take that knowledge back to his team. And similar to that, Dave has been over here already for the past 3 weeks, and some of the DockDogs US people have seen him and his associate Marion, who are out here training and getting to know the program on how we do it here through the head office and otherwise. So the continuity and the consistency worldwide. And the goal for me is, in every country, the only variable is where the dock and pool set up, and sometimes in their world it's always raining, and in their world it's always too hot. But that would be the only variable. Here we have perfect climate, you know, so that's why they're actually here. But that's the goal, is to bring these guys, train them under our umbrella, show them the actual massive opportunity, and expose them to what it really can do. And these guys, I mean, you're charged up. I mean, you've been to these events, awesome. And he's flying, and he has already been working with the U.S. staff and seeing what's going on. So that, for me, the long-term goal, truthfully, Jim, I think that our world championships can be exactly that, a true world champions. There's no reason why Dave and his team down there can't run up to 30, 40 events a year in that massive piece of rock that they have down there sitting in the ocean. There's enough population and huge canine interest, and narrow it down to a November World Championships. And we feed their World Championships to our World Championships by satellite. And it's no different over there. You know, these guys have 60 million people in the UK. I believe it's somewhere upwards of 74-75% people have dogs over there.
Yep, there's about 6 million dogs in the UK.
I mean, it's a massive amount of people in. No, that's in London. That's in London. It's huge, and you put those people together by satellite feed in a divisional format, you're going to have a true world championship. And DockDogs is one canine discipline that can actually lend itself well to that. Right. It's somewhere out in the distant future. I hope not too far, but that's my ultimate goal. Is you know, the CEO of DockDogs Worldwide, to have that camaraderie. And I hope people get together, Facebook through DockDogs, Twitter, the YouTube. I hope they start establishing online friendships and people helping these guys out, and what works for them up here can work for them, and vice versa. And these guys talking. I really believe DockDogs has that vision as a unit, and this is your team right here in the 4 countries we have right now.
And that's the thing is in the dog world, you are, especially in Australia, you are contained to your own country, because we can't transfer dogs easily because of our quarantine. Same as with Great Britain, same as with New Zealand. So this sport allows us to compete on a world scale, and that's the coolest thing about DockDogs, I think, is as opposed to the other dog sports out there, that if you're jumping somewhere in Sydney or somewhere on the Gold Coast, you are competing against someone in Dubuque, Iowa, or Miami, Florida.
The thing is, everything is standard. We have a standard pool size, we have a standard dock size, all the regulations are standard across the world, and so someone jumping on Australia can compare someone jumping in America, can compare someone jumping in the UK, and there's a standard format. We're measuring all the same cameras, same crews.
And that's the big concession, that we've gone with imperial feet and inches. We haven't converted over to metric, and you know what? That's cool. We can give that concession.
I don't want to lose sight of something. Well, we all talk about the competition and comparing ourselves country to country on a worldwide scale. It's the camaraderie. It's the community. Exactly. It's the culture. Yeah. It's got nowhere to go except up. I mean, we're never look back. We're only looking forward. And think about how much fun we're going to have listening to the trials and tribulations of the Aussies and the Brits, and them listening to the Canadians and the US people. And we have these 2 new countries we're working diligently to go into next year. I mean, think about it. Just the experiences and social dialogue back and forth. It's going to be hilarious. And the new breeds. I mean, these guys got breeds down there that we haven't even experienced. And while the Malinois and the Labs have been battling it out, what's coming from these countries? We have no idea.
Kelpies.
It's unlimited. It's unlimited.
No dingoes?
Actually, you know what? We had a dingo actually at the dock the other day.
Did you?
Yes, he's he was one of my co-stars in a recent thing that I did, and he didn't jump in, but he was cool on the dock, and we'll foster it. But that would be awesome if you can get a dingo jumping on DockDogs. I think that would be awesome.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Great interview with a couple of great gentlemen. Robert there from the United Kingdom, Farmer Dave from Australia. We didn't use any subtitles. I think that was all pretty clear. It was fantastic to hear their views and see what their plans are to spread DockDogs, our favorite sport, across the globe. Hey, if you have any questions for Grant Reeves, you can always email me at the address right here on the screen. I'll pick a few each episode and take them to Grant, and we'll get those hard questions answered. So until next time, I want to thank you again for tuning in to DockDogs TV. I hope wherever you are this weekend, whether you're jumping your dogs or not, that you have a fantastic time, and we will see you on the dock. Take care.